What is going on, guys? Ford here, and I am bringing you a Gears of War 3 commentary. This game is phenomenal. I love this game. I was never really into Gears before. I played Gears 1 for about a week, and, basically returned the game after that. Actually, no, wait. I still have the first one. I just never really played it at all. So I'm a noob at this freaking game. A complete noob. Here I'm actually level 20, and the game is really fucking long. I'm playing King of the Hill here, and with King of the Hill, they do it in rounds, and it's up to 150 points, so you have to capture the objective, and it changes every 75 seconds. So the hill will move, every 75 seconds, and it's up to 150 points, and whoever reaches 150 points wins that round. So it's 2 rounds, but if you both win a round, then it goes to the 3rd round. And the one thing I will say, and everyone else has probably already bitched about this, but the sawed-off shotgun, as you saw right there, and in the beginning of this match, where the guy got a collateral, the sawed-off fucking sucks. Well, no, it doesn't suck, it's just very noobish to use it. So I'm not liking the sawed-off. I don't use it at all, only if I run out of my Gnasher ammo, and I see a sawed-off, I'll pick it up, but I hate it, especially if, for some reason, I can't kill anyone with a sawed-off. Especially get a collateral. That's, amazing to do or something. I don't know. I can't do it. So, this commentary, and I am sorry that I haven't got a commentary out to you guys in forever, but the Noob series has, gone off. You all love the frickin' Noob series, which I'm very grateful for. I'm glad you all are liking it. And the Road to a Shoutout, which a new Road to a Shoutout video will be coming out soon. It will be directed at a new YouTuber, which I'm not going to tell you right now. It's going to be a surprise. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be doing in it, because that's a surprise also. But, thank you so much for the support I've seen so far on the 2 new series that I've come out with. So the commentaries have pretty much gone on the back burner. And the reason I'm actually doing this one is because StonePost34 set out a challenge to some commentators that he knows. And it is called the Proposal Challenge. Now, I'll link his video in the description where he talks about how he proposed to his wife. So he set a challenge out to the other commentators, who are all married, of course, to tell the story of how they proposed to their wife. Well, for me to actually tell you the story of how I proposed to my wife, I need to tell you of how I met my wife, how we decided to get married, and all that jazz. Because whenever I knew I had to do this commentary sooner or later. So with Stone's, freaking challenge out there, which I'm accepting, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story with my wife. And yes, it is a long story, and this video is fucking long as hell. Fucking over 20 goddamn minutes. That's the one problem with goddamn Gears games. If you do Team Deathmatch, that's fine. It wouldn't take that long, I don't think. But these King of the Hill matches last forever sometimes. So there's no time limit on King of the Hill anymore, which is awesome when you get a lot of kills. I think the highest kills I've gotten is 40 kills so far with 20 downs. So yeah, I love King of the Hill just for that, because you can get some beast gameplays, but you don't even know how many times you die. So if you all want, you can count how many times I die. I know I die quite a few times here, but I don't know. I'll probably get another video out to you where I beast. But I wish I knew how many times I die, because if I get 40 kills and I die 30 times, it's not really beast gameplay, and I don't count it in my head. So let's get into my wife. So I actually met my wife at a bar called Zamboni's. Now, I used to go to this bar 3 times a week. Now, I know you're probably thinking that I'm an alcoholic, but I was actually an alcoholic for karaoke. So this bar did karaoke Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and that's when I would go, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And of course I drink, but, even now, I don't drink at home. I rarely ever drink at home. Only if friends are over and it's a party or something like that. I don't really drink. The last time I had a beer was it was this weekend, because I was at a wedding. My best friend's sister got married, and I've known them since I was little. But besides that, I think it's been over a month since I had a beer. So I'm not an alcoholic at all. Nor was I, back in my early 20s. I just drank at bars sometimes, but not too heavily where I couldn't drive home. So she was actually meeting a friend that she hasn't seen in a while. It was an old high school friend of hers, and this friend actually went to my high school. I had no idea how she met her, but whatever. Okay, so I actually knew her friend, and that's how we got introduced, you know. And so I was drinking a little bit. Okay, I was drinking a little bit more than a little bit that night. So I got talking to my wife at the end of the night, and when I was pretty much done drinking, and I decided to impress her by taking the cigarette I had in my hand and putting it out on my arm. And she says she wasn't impressed. I know she was. She's a damn liar, okay? And I actually still got the scar to this day. So that's how I met my wife. So I got her number that night. I left. She stayed. And I actually didn't call her until 2 weeks later. I was actually driving home from a bar. And it was a different bar. It was a birthday celebration or some shit like that. And I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I decided to call her and see what she was doing. And she was actually on her way home from Chicago. She was at another bar doing something or other. And I asked her if she wanted to meet up. And we didn't live too far away from each other, about 2 miles away. So we met kind of in the middle at a park. So we're at the park, and we actually were there until about 4 o'clock in the morning. And, just talking. I will admit this. I did call her in the beginning because I was looking for a booty call. But, I'm actually really glad that I did call her because I didn't get booty that night or the next day, but I got booty sooner or later. So it worked out in the end for me. So we hung out till about 4 o'clock in the morning just talking and chilling at this park. And the next day around 1 o'clock, I called her. And she was actually at just stopping at a coffee house, grabbing some coffee. And I was like, hey, do you want to, hang out at the coffee house for a little bit? And I don't drink coffee, so me asking her actually took a lot. So when I got there, I had apple juice. I'm a pop drinker, so I had apple juice, and she was laughing at me because I had it was like the little kitty apple juice in one of those boxes you get the straw and you got to pop it on the top. It was that freaking small, it was like a sip of apple juice. That's what I got. So she was laughing at me and stuff, and we actually hung out for the entire day. We went bowling, we played some pool, and I even believe we went to the movies. So we hung out the entire day, and the only problem was we still weren't dating or even thinking about it yet because she actually had an ex-fiance, and they were trying to work stuff out, but of course she's, playing the field also. So this went on for another week, and I told her, I'm like, hey, I really like you. I don't feel comfortable, with you, seeing me and then seeing another individual. And we weren't doing anything at this time. We weren't kissing or holding hands, all the lovey-dovey stuff, or having sex, which was really bothersome, especially hanging out with her all the time. I didn't really give her an ultimatum, but, I kind of made it clear that, it's either him or me. And and it was kind of risky with me, especially, her having this whole history with the guy and stuff. And, she went back to me that night and she's like, I want to be with you. He's out of my life now. So it actually turned out great. So we started dating, and about a month into the relationship, my wife got pregnant with our first son. And now, I don't know if any of you guys have ever dealt with that before. I'm not too sure. I think a lot of you guys are, younger and haven't dealt with that, hopefully, yet. But, hearing that, your heart drops. Especially as a guy, I was pretty much single, didn't have any bills, living with my folks still. Great feeling. And then to, hear that your girlfriend is pregnant, a couple things run to your mind. And now, I was born Catholic, and I've been raised Catholic. I did the whole, I used to be an altar server, a Eucharistic minister. I used to do a lot of stuff with the youth ministry. So I was a lot into church, but I actually can't stand church. I'm not a church goer. I can't stand an old guy telling me how to live my life. Even though he says it's God's word, it's his interpretation of God's word. But I don't want to get into freaking church talk and all that crap. But the one thing I do want to say about church is if God is all about life and nature and loving everything, why the hell can you not get like, okay, with the Catholic Church, if you want the church to recognize, like Catholic ministry or whatever, to recognize your marriage, in front of God or whatever, you have to get married at the church. You can't get married in a backyard or at the woods or on a boat. You have to be married at a church, which does not make sense to me, because if God loves everything and everything that he has created, why can you not get married wherever the hell you want to and have it recognized by the Catholic Church? Do not understand it. Actually, I do understand it. They just want money out of it. That's all they're fucking looking for, which I do not agree with. I don't agree with church and everyone sitting there kneeling, standing, sitting, at certain points of time. I don't like that. The only thing I like about church is singing. Okay, because I'm a singer. So, yeah, that's the only thing I fucking like about singing. So, sorry about that little rant about Catholic Church or whatever. So, yeah, okay. I do not agree with abortion. Somewhat. All right, I'm like on the fence with that. I believe, especially with rape victims or something like that, abortion, yes. Go ahead and do that, because if you're not going to love that kid, then you are not helping that kid. And even putting him in foster care or, whatever, that is not helping the kid, at all. So I believe in some stances of abortion. And I believe that it's a woman's body. She has her choice. So, me and my wife talked about it, and she's like, I want to keep the baby. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, let's get married. Because that's how I was raised. I was raised old school. Like one of those, preps back in the day, like in the 70s or 60s with their hair, slicked. And I actually had that haircut where half of it's on the left side. I think I'll put a picture of the haircut I'm talking about because I know I'm not going to do this properly. And I don't know if I got a picture of myself with this haircut. I probably won't even fucking show that. But I'll show you the picture of it probably right now. Okay. I don't know if I did. Because if I'm too lazy, I might not do it. So if it's not there, then imagine. So that was the haircut I actually had. And the best way to explain this is if you ever watched Wonder Years. It was an old TV show. I kind of, it was back in the, I think they played it on in the 60s or 70s or something like that. But, yeah, it was, I grew up old school. Let's just say that, all right? So my next step is marriage. And actually, when we told my parents, and actually, that's another thing. I was freaking out telling my parents because they're old school and hardcore Catholics. Actually, my dad's a hardcore Christian. My mom's a Catholic. Don't know how that works. Whatever. But, getting that really freaked me out, especially only been dating my girlfriend for a month, and I got her pregnant, especially a Catholic, not being married, having sex. But that wasn't really frowned upon because, actually, no. I don't even want to talk about my parents having sex. I'm not getting into that. It's not my mind going that way. So, a lot of things just go through your mind. But I know the right thing to do was to marry my wife. So, especially being young and stupid and not having a lot of time, I really didn't propose to my wife in the most romantic way possible. Not as much as Stone did with all his hoopla bloopla bullshit. Again, his video will be in the description to watch that shit, because I hate him for that. I didn't actually have a lot of money at the time, because I knew she was going to say yes, so I was trying to save up my money already, so we didn't go to a fancy restaurant and everything. We went to a movie and a dinner. And across from the movies is Ruby Tuesday, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's nice for my ghetto ass, I guess. In the parking lot, there was like this huge snowbank. We got bombarded with snow a couple days back, so I helped her over it. She was a couple months pregnant, and as we're going over it, I knelt down actually in the snow and proposed to her, faking that I, fell in there or something, and I proposed to her. So it wasn't the most romantic, probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done. But I will tell you this story of the one romantic thing I've probably done for my wife, and which is this, I guess I will say. Okay, so, sorry. Actually, for our wedding, I actually had the DJ who does the karaoke at the bar. He actually DJs our wedding, and he does a lot of mixture things. He did it, very professional and stuff like that. And we had like over 300 people at this wedding. So this was probably like one of the biggest things that I've done in front of people. I actually sang our first song while dancing with my wife. Now, to give you the backstory of this, the first song that we danced to was I Swear by John Michael Montgomery. Now, a lot of you will know that by Boyz II Men. You know the song, I swear by the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, that song. But I, did it by John Michael Montgomery, who I believe was the originator of this song, and Boyz II Men. They didn't rip it off, you know what I mean? They didn't rip it off, but they did it in their own kind of version. Or maybe he did it in in his own version. I don't know the fucking story to that either. Maybe I should do my research before I fucking do these commentaries. But I don't know where my mind is going to go when I'm doing these commentaries because I'm doing this freelance. I just know the topic I should talk about, and I just go off on some tangent rants here or there. And another thing. Sorry I haven't done a commentary in a while. I don't even know if I said that because it's been already fucking 15 minutes and I'm still doing this goddamn commentary. So, sorry. Wait, I think I did. Fuck it. Whatever, I'm sorry. So anywho, I did I Swear by John Michael Montgomery. Now, actually, the night I first met my wife, that was actually the last song that I sang, and then I started talking with her. And she says she didn't hear me sing in my beautiful voice, but I know she did. She's a fucking liar. So, I did I Swear by John Michael Montgomery. Now, I'm singing in front of 300 people, which, now, I'm an Irish motherfucker. Musher. What the fuck is musher? I don't know. Motherfucker. And I actually turned beet red. Now, that's a problem with me because now I'm bald and, now all my head is showing. So I'm like a fucking beet now whenever I get, really embarrassed. And I wasn't really embarrassed. I sang in front of people before, just not in that big of a crowd. It kind of felt like American Idol. I was on show and, they loved and stuff. So that's, the one romantic thing that I've ever done for my wife. And goddamn, I still got 3 minutes on this goddamn commentary. Why would I pick a goddamn video that is over 20 fucking minutes long? How many of you are watching this video right now? How many of you are listening to me? I want to know. If you have listened to me, put down in the comments, Fuzzer Muzzer. I don't know how to spell it. Just put it down. And you can put another comment down too, like, oh, that was a great video, Fuzzer Muzzer. Or some shit like that. I don't give a shit. Because I know if there's a long-ass video, God, how boring is that? I mean, well, not really boring. As long as the commentary is still kind of good. I don't know about talk about my wife and this wedding shit's actually good commentary, though. But I'm taking up your goddamn challenge, Stone, so you better put fucking Fuzzer Muzzer down. I don't fucking know what it is. I'm sorry for all the cursing. No, I'm not fucking sorry about all the cursing, because I curse all the fucking time. What to talk about for these last couple of minutes? Yes. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about because I'm already talking about it. Oh my god. Oh, I need a beer, but I don't drink at home, like I already said. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is actually how scared I was, leading up to the wedding, and even the first year of marriage. Now, I always knew that, the first time I actually met my wife and talked to her, especially the night that we, just set up talking in the day, I knew at least I was going to be moving in with this woman, and I was actually already planning on moving in with her. I just didn't tell her yet. I was going to ask her to move in with me because I was moving out of my parents' house, and, I already knew that. And then when I found out she was pregnant, my first thought was always, to marriage, unless she wanted abortion, which I would have agreed to because it's her body. How many people, especially with the divorce rate being over 50% in fucking America, how many people think, and even I've thought it a little bit, how would this work? Especially when you got people that have been together for so long, they get married and then they have kids and then they can't cope with it. Actually, my best friend's parents are separated right now after 30 years of marriage, and they're separating because, they can't deal with it anymore. My uncle is actually getting a divorce right now with my aunt. And it's oh my God, you see these all the time. How can these two people who've been only dating for 2-3 months make it even to, it's almost been 4 years now. 4 years in March. It'll be, I can't even believe we've made it this far, but I know I love my wife. And I think one of the things that we always, do is communicate. She bitches at me and that's the thing. Guys are mostly contempt, okay? Unless you're a guy but you have like the emotional span of a woman or something, like we're fine with whatever we do, pretty much, you know. I was single before, and now I'm getting married and I got kids. Okay, I'm fine with that. I can cope with that. I learn to deal with that. It's not, and I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say, but having the lines of communication open, and we've had our rocky patches, but and actually a couple months ago we had a really rough patch that I was not happy about, but we just kept the lines of communication open. We saw what wasn't working, and we worked to make it better. And we're as happy as we can be. So that's it, guys. That's the end of it. I went 28 kills, 11 downs with I don't know how many caps or assists. Oh, fucking just look at yourself, goddammit. So that's it, guys. I hope you like it. Till next time, later.